In the dim glow of the emptying skyscraper, Elena Vargas clutched her leather briefcase like a shield, her heels echoing like accusations against the marble floors. She had just fired 3 loyal employees in a boardroom that smelled of stale coffee and shattered dreams. Collateral damage in her relentless climb to the top. As the elevator doors hissed shut, she caught a glimpse of him. Marcus Hale, the night janitor, his worn flannel shirt stretched over broad shoulders, pausing to tuck a crumpled dollar bill into the hand of a shivering security guard who'd lost his coat. The guard's eyes welled up, whispering thanks that Marcus waved off with a quiet, "We've all got our storms, brother." Elena's heart stuttered, a crack in her armored cynicism. Who was this man, emptying trash bins by day and dispensing grace by night? Against every instinct screaming, "Mind your own empire." She slipped into the shadows, following him into the rain-slicked streets, her world tilting on the edge of an unknown mercy. Elena Vargas had built her tech empire on the bones of broken promises. At 42, she was the youngest female CEO in Silicon Valley history, her face plastered on Forbes covers like a war trophy. But success had hollowed her out. Her marriage had crumbled under the weight of board meetings and betrayals. Her ex-husband's affair with her assistant still burned like acid in her throat. Friends? They were investors now, their laughter as transactional as stock trades. Humanity, to Elena, was a glitch in the algorithm, selfish code chasing profit. She trusted no one, loved nothing that couldn't be quantified. That rainy Tuesday evening, as thunder grumbled over the city, Elena lingered in the lobby of Apex Innovations, her flagship tower. The boardroom massacre replayed in her mind. The marketing lead's trembling voice, the engineer's defeated slump. "It's business," she'd told them, her voice steel. But as the lights dimmed, she spotted Marcus Hale. He was 38, with salt and pepper stubble framing a face etched by quiet endurance. His mop bucket sloshed rhythmically, a metronome to the building's exodus. Elena had seen him for months. Always a nod, never a word beyond, "Evening, ma'am." Tonight, though, he knelt by the security desk, pressing that dollar into old Mr. Ruiz's palm. The guard, a widower scraping by on minimum wage, stammered gratitude. Marcus just smiled, that crooked half-moon that hid 1,000 untold stories, and said, "Pay it forward when the sun breaks through." Curiosity, that rare intruder in Elena's fortress, propelled her. She shrugged on her trench coat, the fabric whispering secrets, and tailed him into the downpour. Her Ferrari idled 2 blocks away, but she walked, heels sinking into puddles like doubts. Marcus hunched against the wind, backpack slung low, weaving through the neon-lit sprawl of downtown. Poverty clung to him like the rain. Threadbare jeans patched at the knees, boots cracked from endless shifts. Elena's mind raced. Why follow? To mock the idealism? To prove him a fraud, like everyone else? He turned into a crumbling tenement in the Tenderloin district, a warren of graffiti-scarred walls where sirens wailed like lost souls. Elena pressed against a lamppost, heart pounding, feeling foolish yet alive in a way boardrooms never allowed. Through a grimy window, she glimpsed it, a cramped apartment aglow with fairy lights strung from exposed pipes. Marcus shrugged off his jacket, revealing a faded "World's Best Dad" tee, and knelt before a small boy, maybe 6, with wild curls and eyes too wise for his years. "Hey, champ," Marcus murmured, pulling a greasy paper bag from his pack. "Double shifts paid off, tacos tonight." The boy, Jamie, lit up like dawn. "With extra cheese, Daddy? For the tummy ache." Marcus's laugh was a rumble, but his eyes shadowed. "Extra everything. And I brought you that library book on stars. Remember? The ones that guide lost ships home." They ate cross-legged on a threadbare rug, Jamie chattering about school bullies who called him "trash kid" because of Marcus's job. Elena strained to hear, her breath fogging the glass. Marcus listened, nodding, then cupped his son's face. "Those boys. They're just ships without anchors. You're my North Star. We rise above, kiddo. Always." But isolation gnawed at them. Jamie's mother, Lila, had died 2 years prior. A hidden run on a rain-slicked bridge, leaving Marcus adrift in grief's fog. He worked 2 jobs, days at Apex, nights scrubbing offices in the financial district. Bills piled like accusations. Rent overdue, Jamie's asthma meds a monthly gut punch. Poverty wasn't just empty pockets. It was the hollow ache of choosing between groceries and grief counseling. Marcus had abandoned his mechanic dreams after Lila's death, trading wrenches for mops to keep Jamie's world intact. "Daddy doesn't cry," he'd tell his son. But alone, under the spray of a cold shower, tears mixed with water, washing away the man he used to be. Elena watched, transfixed, as Marcus tucked Jamie in with a story of constellations. Orion the hunter, forever chasing what he loved. The boy's eyelids fluttered shut, a soft snore rising. Marcus lingered, tracing his son's brow, whispering, "I'll make it better, buddy." Somehow. Then, exhaustion claiming him, he slumped at a wobbly kitchen table, poring over eviction notices by lamplight. Elena's chest tightened, compassion, unbidden, flooding her veins. This man, invisible in her gleaming tower, carried a universe of kindness in his calloused hands. She backed away, rain masking her retreat, but the hook was set. That night, in her penthouse overlooking the bay, sleep evaded her. For the first time in years, she wept, not for herself, but for the quiet heroism she'd nearly missed. The next morning, Elena arrived early, her empire feeling smaller. Marcus mopped the lobby, oblivious. On impulse, she dropped a 50 in his tip jar, disguised as lobby change, her first act of uncalculated generosity. He found it later, brow furrowing, but pocketed it with a murmur. "For the stars, then." Elena watched from her office window, a seed of hope germinating in her barren heart. Little did she know, this small gesture was the spark that would ignite a chain of mercies, pulling them both from isolation's grip. Weeks blurred into a secret vigil for Elena. She rationalized it as research, a CEO's due diligence on her workforce's underbelly. But truth be told, Marcus Hale had become her anchor in a sea of spreadsheets. She followed him thrice more, each time peeling back layers of his resilient world. One evening, she saw him detour to a soup kitchen, volunteering after his shift, ladling stew to the homeless with stories that coaxed smiles from hollow cheeks. "Everyone's got a light," he'd say, echoing his words to Jamie. "Just gotta fan the flame." Elena, hidden in alley shadows, felt her cynicism crack further. How could a man so burdened dispense such grace? Her own struggles mirrored his in unexpected ways. Elena's grief was armored, abandonment by a father who fled when she was 10, leaving her to claw from foster homes to corner offices. Isolation was her throne, nights alone with takeout and TED Talks on vulnerability she never practiced. Corporate battles left scars, a recent merger betrayal by her CFO, who siphoned funds for his yacht. "Trust no one," she'd vowed, yet Marcus's quiet dignity haunted her. One Friday, as rain lashed the city again, she mustered courage. In the lobby, she cornered him during his break. "Mr. Hale?" "A word." He straightened, mop paused mid-swipe, eyes wary but kind. "Ma'am." "Elena, please. I noticed your tip jar's always empty. The building's stingy." She slid an envelope across the counter, $500, anonymous aid for Jamie's meds. "For the boy. Stars need fuel." Marcus's jaw tightened, pride flickering like a struck match. He pushed it back gently. "Appreciate it, Elena. But we manage. Handouts, they sting worse than the hunger sometimes." His voice cracked, revealing the grief's undercurrent. "Lila, my wife, she taught me that. Said true help builds bridges, not walls." They talked then, awkwardly at first, over vending machine coffee in the dim lounge. Marcus shared fragments. Lila's laugh like wind chimes, the hit-and-run thief who vanished into the night. "Grief's a thief too," he admitted, staring at his scarred knuckles. "Steals your sleep, your dreams. But Jamie? He's my redemption. Every taco, every story, it's me fighting back." Elena listened, her walls crumbling. She confessed her fractures, the ex's knife twist, the father's ghost. "I thought success would fill the voids. It just echoes louder." That conversation was the bridge. Elena's acts of kindness snowballed, small, then seismic. She anonymously sponsored Jamie's school art program, watching from afar as his constellation drawings earned a gallery spot. Marcus noticed, cornering her one dawn. "The envelope? The art supplies? That you?" His eyes softened, not with pity, but recognition. "Why?" "Because you've restored something I lost," she whispered. "Faith." Their connection deepened organically, defying her corporate calendar. Coffee breaks stretched to walks in the rooftop garden, where Marcus pointed out real stars piercing the smog. See Orion? Chasing forever. But he never catches up alone. Elena laughed, a sound rusty from disuse, sharing her foster tales, the isolation of penthouse views. Marcus listened without judgment, his presence a balm. You're not alone in the chase, Elena. Sometimes, the stars align if you let them. Struggles persisted, testing their fragile bond. Jamie's asthma flared during a brutal flu season, landing him in the ER. Marcus, white-knuckled at Elena's doorstep at 2 a.m., poured out his terror. I can't lose him too. What if I'm not enough? Elena, heart aching, drove them to the hospital, her Ferrari a chariot through the storm. In the sterile waiting room, she held his hand, calloused against silk, as doctors stabilized the boy. You're more than enough, she said fiercely. You're his universe. In return, Marcus's kindness circled back unexpectedly. When Elena's merger imploded, her CFO exposed in a fraud scandal, the board circling like vultures, she unraveled in her office, sobs echoing off glass walls. Marcus found her, door ajar, and without a word, brewed tea from his thermos, sitting cross-legged on the floor like with Jamie. Empires fall, Elena, but hearts? They rebuild. He shared a worn photo of Lila, her eyes alight. She said love's the real merger, merging pains into purpose. That night, he rallied building staff, cleaners, guards, for testimonies of her overlooked fairness, the unheralded raises, the flexible shifts for grieving employees. Their letters, scrawled on napkins, bolstered her defense, turning the board's tide. The full circle came on a crisp autumn eve, Jamie's 7th birthday. Elena arrived at their apartment uninvited, arms laden with a cake frosted in starry swirls. Marcus opened the door, surprise melting to warmth. You didn't have to. I wanted to. Inside, laughter filled the space. Neighbors crammed in, a makeshift family forged from shared mercies. Jamie blew candles, wishing aloud, for Daddy's friend who makes stars real. Elena's eyes met Marcus's over the boy's head, a silent vow forming. No grand declarations, just the quiet promise of partnership. Two souls, once isolated, now intertwined. As winter thawed into spring, Elena restructured Apex, profit sharing for janitors, grief leave for all. Marcus pursued night classes in engineering, Elena's scholarship his launchpad. Jamie thrived, his bullies silenced by confidence born of love. And Elena? Her faith, once a flicker, blazed. In Marcus's arms one starlit night, she whispered, You saved me first. In the grand tapestry of our hurried lives, where shadows of doubt often eclipse the light, remember this. A single thread of empathy can weave destinies together, proving that humanity's truest power lies not in conquest, but in the courage to see, to feel, and to extend a hand to the stranger who might just become your home. Let kindness be your compass, for in lifting another, we rediscover the stars within ourselves, guiding not just ships, but souls, toward shores of unbreakable connection, where love endures beyond the storms. Moral of the story. In a world quick to judge and slow to care, one act of unseen compassion can unravel isolation's chains, reminding us that true restoration blooms when we choose to follow the quiet heroes among us with open hearts.